The speedboat rounded a bend in the tunnel, roaring into view on a V-shaped feather of spray. Number 10 stood ready, mask in place, gun in hand. Number 3, black-clad, windswept, expertly piloted the Seahawk 285 toward the dock, using bursts of throttle to maneuver. They were about 20 feet beneath the Canal Saint-Martin in Paris. Slanting shafts of sunlight cast yellow circles on the choppy waves. Number 10 had to wonder how much bat guano and other noxious material he'd inhaled since arriving here 5 minutes ago, barely ahead of Number 3 and their special guest. They secured the nose of the craft to a piling. Number 3 exuded his usual cool. His handsome face was partially obscured by a plain gray mask, its black loops hooked around his small pink ears. His eyes twinkled in lieu of that killer smile. "We made it," pronounced Number 3, his voice small and tight in the confines of the watery trench. Somehow, despite the gloom of their surroundings, his skin shone radiantly. If this were a movie, Number 10 decided his boss would be played by the biggest star in the world, none other than... "Hey, guys," called out Number 7. She was a stunning, statuesque blonde, who looked as impressive in a skin-tight black ninja suit as she did in business attire. Number 10 glanced over his shoulder, squinting to pinpoint her voice. "Got some news for you," she called, urgently waving her mobile phone. "Not now," said Number 3, turning to the boat. Flat on the aluminum deck, clad in prisoner orange, with a heavy canvas sack on his head, was the most dangerous terrorist in the world, Paul Hewson. Hewson had been en route to prison when his police convoy was interrupted by Number 3 and the rest of the MI6 crew. Using smoke and lots of rubber bullets, they had managed to wrest Hewson away from the police and down here into the catacombs. Now Hewson stirred, his arms and legs bound. "It's kinda important," sang out Number 7. "So is this," replied Number 3. He and Number 10 managed to wrestle Hewson onto the dock. With the terrorist providing little in the way of assistance, they stood over their prey, victorious. Number 7 sauntered over, still wagging her mobile. "Don't you want to know?" she asked. Number 3 grinned up at her? Or, at least, Number 10 pictured him grinning. His mask twitched, anyway. "All right," panted Number 3, resting his hands on his hips. "What is it?" Number 7 reached up and, without fanfare, removed her mask, exposing her lovely chin, lips and teeth. Number 10 startled, he'd forgotten about those lovely white choppers, her pink gums and knife-edged jaw. "Oh my God," he cried. "What are you doing? There's a pandemic." "Not anymore," said Number 7, grinning at each of them. "Pandemic's been lifted. It just came across the BBC." Number 10 saw that Number 3 was now frowning. "Bullshit," barked Number 3, his shoulders tensing. "No bullshit," said Number 7, tossing her mask into the water. "Paris mayor, French president and our own bloody PM have declared an end to the emergency. Breaking news." Number 10 chuckled. "I don't believe it." "Check your phone," challenged Number 7. "It's all over the place." She took a step toward them, and both men flinched. "Social distancing," cried Number 3. "For God's sake," replied Number 7. "Have we even paid attention to social distancing for the past month? We've all been in close contact with each other. Besides, we've gotten our shots. It's fine." Number 3 squinted, as if the air had filled with smoke. "I don't understand," he said through his mask, "who lifted the orders. The blokes I just rattled off. Isn't that official enough? What gives them the right to do that? I imagine they're acting on the advice of the health authorities." Number 10 piped up, phone in hand. "It's breaking now. The UK and EU have agreed to lift the emergency, with the US soon to follow. No more masks." He stared at Number 3, who had yet to move. "I don't like it," declared Number 3. "What's not to like, mate? What if the virus is still out there? We can't take that chance." Number 7 frowned. "Did you catch a blow to the head? You feeling all right? What if it's misinformation? What?" Number 3 clenched his fists. "We're down here," he said, indicating the sweaty brick walls. Houston has friends up there. We know they control certain media outlets and communications satellites. What if they're trying to expose us to the virus? But we got our jabs. I've only had the first dose, said number 3, his voice brittle. What about you? His friends traded sheepish looks. Well, said 7, if I'm being completely honest, I've not had the second dose. Not yet. Number 10 nodded. Same. Oh, Christ, said number 3. Then we're not all 100% protected. 80% is better than none, snapped 10, realizing 3 didn't take well to snapping. What I mean is, we should be fine. The blue eyes of their leader grew cold. Should be fine? Should be fine? Is that how this crew operates? Easy, mate, said number 7, what 10's trying to say? I know what he's trying to say, interrupted 3. Same thing you are. He's saying we should relax our guard because of something you saw on the internet. But it doesn't work that way. Or, it shouldn't. Alright, interjected number 10, now you're sounding paranoid. Look, nothing you've said convinces me this isn't some trick Houston's trying to pull, said number 3, all but dancing up and down. We can't allow anything we see or hear to interfere with our objective, which is getting this sack of shit back to London. We can do that, mate, said number 10, only minus the face coverings and social distancing. Brow furrowed, number 3 pulled a tube of sanitizer from his pocket and squeezed a dollop onto his fingers. He proffered the container. I suggest you guys use this, he said. And, 7, I hope you've got another mask. You're gonna need it. She arched her brows. I'm not wearing it, and I've not touched any contaminated surfaces. Stuff the sanitizer, mate. Number 10 nodded. I've used so much of that junk I'm probably immune by now. We're going to have to trust the media on this one. The media is under Houston's control, roared 3. Now soap up. But we've smashed Houston's gang, protested 7. We broke up his troll farm. Twitter froze his account. He is incommunicado. Ask him. 3 glared down at Houston, who hadn't spoken or moved. Was the terrorist listening in, grinning inside that hood? He prodded Houston. How about it, Paul? It's true, said Houston. Twitter shut me down. What about all this other talk? No idea. It isn't me. Must be the real thing. 10 and 7 stared expectantly at 3, who was all but hyperventilating. I'd expect him to say that, he informed them. We must err on the side of caution. But that's silly, said Houston. You're so addicted to the safety protocols that you can't let go of them. Think about it. Why would all those officials say something that wasn't true? Or, why would my organization, now defunct, thanks to you, seize control of a comsat just to send false information to her phone? Why indeed? Asked 10. Shut up, snapped 3. This guy killed 40 people in a car bombing. Look, it's only logical, replied Houston. Why would the mayor of Paris lie? I don't know the man, but I doubt he'd cause a panic. 3 stomped on Houston as if he were squashing a bug. Point taken, Houston wheezed. Listen, 3 said to his subordinates, we're gonna continue following protocol. We're gonna wash our hands, wear our face coverings, and social distance, as we have done all year. We can't assume life has gone back to normal. Let's complete our mission and go from there. 10 abruptly chucked his mask. No, he said firmly. You can be stubborn, but we've got to put this behind us sometime. This is it. 3 blinked stupidly. That's your lifeline. I only have one backup mask and it's for me. 10 shrugged. Let's haul Houston to the surface and catch our plane, he said, reaching for their hogtied prisoner. No, cried 3, shoving 10 aside. I can't let you do it. He seized Houston around the waist and pitched him into the bow. In a flash, he had the boat unmoored. 7 stepped toward him, eyes wide. What are you doing? I can't risk it, exclaimed 3, leaping behind the controls. He threw the lever into forward gear. White foam churned beneath the outboard. I'm taking him to a secure site. No, 3, yelled 10 as the boat roared away from the dock. 7 held him back, preventing him from leaping in after it. Let them go, she said, gripping her friend's shoulders. Number 3 executed a perfect U-turn in the midst of the tunnel, slinging water on his companions. She caught a glimpse of Hewson, sliding around on the deck like a fish. Then the boat accelerated and was gone. What an idiot, she said, puffing hair out of her face. What a goddamned idiot.